Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I'm getting set up for my live stream coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern. Hope you guys will join us in. There's word that the Dallas Cowboys are prepared to offer Dak Prescott the deal that they already had on the table. 5 years, 175 million, with the fifth year being 45 million. We'll see if that flies, but I don't know how it will since the franchise tag is at 37.7. But maybe that's just a starting point, just to start getting a conversation started. The advantage for the Dallas Cowboys is he's doing his rehab and things at the facilities. They know exactly how far and how well this ankle is healing. And from what I'm hearing, it is actually doing much, much better and ahead of schedule where you would think it would be. You know, when you're young, everything heals up a lot quicker than when you're an old ass like me. But an interesting thing, we have a lot of Cowboy fans that are thinking that if Matthew Stafford, wow, they got two number ones and a player, maybe we can make a trade like that too, and we can do something as far as getting rid of Dak Prescott. Well, I got to tell you, interesting thing is there's a number of teams that are definitely interested in Dak Prescott. They're hoping and praying that the Dallas Cowboys decide to let him walk or possibly put him on the non-exclusive tag where they could bid on him. And it might be that that's the thing for the Cowboys to do. If they don't truly believe in him, go ahead, do the non-exclusive tag and let somebody hopefully give you two number ones. There you go. And there's no shame in the game. One of the teams, one of the many, of course, is the Denver Broncos, who we're hearing that if Dak Prescott becomes a free agent, they're going to be going all in on it, which is an interesting take because the Denver Broncos had a pre draft meeting with Dak Prescott,
No, no,
and Dak Prescott missed the flight.
they missed the flight.
That's
Didn't have a meeting, they missed the flight.
okay. I was getting to that. They had a pre-draft meeting set up with Dak Prescott. He missed a flight, ended up being late, and he's thinking that's one of the reasons why they didn't draft him. But after going through what Denver has gone through, literally having two first-round drafted quarterbacks and not having a quarterback, let's just go through the list here of players that have been the quarterbacks since Peyton Manning. 2015 was Peyton Manning's, last year with the Super Bowl, of course. Him and Brock Osweiler were the quarterbacks. But after that draft, that Dak Prescott was drafted in the fourth round for the Cowboys, they had Trevor Siemian. They drafted Paxton Lynch, a guy that the Dallas Cowboys actually were in the mix with. And the difference was a second round and a third round along with the first round pick. Excuse me, a second and a third, or somewhere. Excuse me, it wasn't the first round. I'm sorry. I forget it. I know it was the second pick was we offered a third and Denver offered a second instead. That's what was the difference of getting Dak Prescott or getting Paxton Lynch. So we dodged a bullet. Paxton Lynch, FYI, is no longer in the lead. First round drafted quarterback. So after Paxton Lynch, they went back to Trevor Siemian for another 10 games. They brought Brock Osweiler back, who they had originally signed a few years before for a $75 million contract. He goes to Houston, throws up all over himself, and somehow finds his way back to Denver. Then they, of course, played Paxton Lynch for 2 games. Then 2018, they decided, okay, let's go for Case Keenum. He got the Minnesota Vikings to the championship game. One game away from being the Super Bowl. Let's try him. Didn't work. So then they traded for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, who has a Super Bowl ring, we can get that guy. He's got experience. And okay, I think he's with the Jets right now at the moment. Then they drafted Drew Luck and Drew Lock. He's got no luck apparently, and Brandon Allen. Yeah. So 2020, this past year, they had Drew Lock for 13 games. They had Jeff Driscoll, Brett Ripken, and Philip Lindsay. So if you are John Elway, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, and you have sucked this bad at trying to get a quarterback, I guarantee you that if Dak Prescott gets out there on the open market, they will do anything and everything to get him here. Because here's the reality. You spent two number ones on quarterbacks, and neither of them have busted a grape. And we're talking about in the last 5 years. The guy that you really had your sights on, you might have another chance. And I'm going to give you a little story here, too, that at least relates to me in my personal life. And that is my wife, my current wife, the last wife I will ever have, because I said when we got married, win, lose, or draw, I will never get married again. I actually met her in college some 36 years ago. Wow, am I that old? Yeah, I guess I am. Fell in love with her. And it was kind of like, nah, not happening. You're crazy, Mark. I'm still crazy. But over the years, I got the second chance to make this thing work. It took a long time. But I'm happy to report that 18 years later, we are still together. And it worked out. And could the Denver Broncos and Dak Prescott be that new romance that brings quarterbacks actually back to Denver? Well, that all depends on the Dallas Cowboys and whether or not they really believe that Dak Prescott is the guy and whether or not they're going to get a deal done. The offer that that we're hearing, and I'm only saying I am not there. I'm not Dak Prescott's agent. I can't tell you if it's legit or not. But people are saying that they are offering 5 years, $175 million contract, which is the same thing that they had on the table before. Now, I always thought that if the market is going up, at the time when they put that on the table, 35 million was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Now it's 45 with Pat Mahomes and 39 with Deshaun Watson, and soon to be in the 40s, Josh Allen, as well as Lamar Jackson, and probably Baker Mayfield. So I'm not sure that this offer is even a starter. It's a non-starter, if anything. We'll be talking about this more tonight, and we'll see where we go. But right now, as we sit, we got 88 days before the NFL draft kicks off. So we've got a lot of work. Oh, and also, too, the franchise tag time, maybe I need to reset the clock, is 22 days from now. Teams can start tagging players. So we got a lot to do. All right, I got to get finished setting up for my live stream. We'll be live here in about an hour and a half, and I hope you guys join us for the Joe Boo Sports Report. Are you ready for the show? And we should be also on YouNow tonight as well. I'm Mark Holmes with, of course, Michael Anthony Fitness. We'll see you guys then.
So you know what that is.
What?
The Dak Prescott thing.
What's the Dak Prescott thing?
They want to sign him at the end, but they're trying to stay relevant in the news. That's what I feel like it is, because they're going to say, "Oh, we're going to do this, that," and then that's what they do.
Well, they do like to be in the news. That is the truth, and they definitely will stay in the news with the nonsense that they're doing. All right, we'll talk about this more in a few.